black cleaner studying in secret revealed. Millionaire's amazing discovery changes lives forever. Maya wiped her brow, pulling her headscarf tighter as she gazed at the gleaming chandelier above her. Each crystal sparkled like stars against the luxuriously decorated ceiling of a mansion in a wealthy suburb of Atlanta. While her hands worked tirelessly dusting the intricate design, her heart, heavy with responsibility, clung fiercely to a dream that seemed far away. She longed to trade her mop for a stethoscope, to one day don a nurse's uniform and care for those in need. But the relentless burden of supporting her family after her father's health issues robbed him of his job kept her knees bent under the weight of the daily grind. Every day, she ventured into these grand homes, surrounded by the riches of those who lived there, silently yearning for a life that felt just out of reach. As her friends shared tales of college adventures and dreams, Maya polished marble floors and scrubbed toilets, hidden behind the opulence that whispered stories of aspirations. Yet when the sun dipped low, turning the sky into a canvas of hope, Maya transformed. The local library became her sacred space, an oasis where the scent of old books and the whispers of past dreams enveloped her. She would stay late into the night, studying human anatomy, filling her notepad with intricate drawings and notes. The fire within her grew stronger, igniting a fierce determination not to be a spectator in life, but an active player. One evening, as she buried herself in textbooks under the warm library lights, Mr. Harris, a wealthy but lonely millionaire, felt his heart tugged by the sight. He saw in Maya's scribbles a passion he hadn't encountered since losing his beloved wife. Their unlikely friendship blossomed, rooted in mentorship and a shared zest for purpose. With each conversation, Maya learned life wasn't just about money. It was about making a difference. The spark she saw in Mr. Harris reminded him that joy still existed, stoked by the laughter of a bright young woman. But dreams come with complications. As Maya began to soar, her family members, her mother and younger brother, felt the sting of betrayal. Tense dinners were punctuated with accusations, their eyes filled with disappointment and resentment. "You think you're better than us now?" they cried, their voices sharp with unspoken fears. The aching ties of family loyalty were threatened. As Maya prepared for the upcoming community health fair to showcase everything she had learned, doubt began to cloud her mind. The whispers of prejudice from attendees crept in. What does she know? Just a cleaner. Their dismissive remarks sliced through her, shaking the resolve she had built with Mr. Harris's encouragement. Each practiced speech felt heavier, her heart tight with the weight of their skepticism. Then came the day of reckoning. Standing before the crowd, Maya felt her pulse quicken, each heartbeat echoing in her ears as she caught sight of her family in the audience. Their expressions a mix of pride and apprehension. Fear wrapped around her throat as whispers floated through the air, sharp and bitter. Just as she lifted the microphone, doubt swirled. Would she let their judgments crush her dream? In that moment, as she breathed in determination, the crowd hushed, the weight of the moment swelling around her like a tide. What would she choose? A voice inside insisted she step forward, reclaim her identity, and show them how powerful dreams can be. Would she have the courage to rise above, or would she fade into the shadows of doubt? Maya stood frozen in the spotlight, the world around her fading into a blur. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears, drowning out the whispers. She knew this was her moment. She could almost hear Mr. Harris's encouraging words echoing in her mind. "Speak from your heart, Maya. They need to see you, the real you." Taking a deep breath, she clenched the microphone, feeling the cold metal against her palm. She looked out into the audience, her family's faces flashing recognition, uncertainty, and something deeper, a plea for understanding. "This is not just about me," she began, her voice wavering but gaining strength with each syllable. "I'm here because I believe we can all strive for more, regardless of where we come from." A wave of hesitant murmurs rippled through the crowd. Her mind raced back to those evenings spent studying anatomy, the smell of the library books, and the dreams that felt so close yet so far. "I grew up watching people struggle. I want to change that. I want to be a nurse, not just to wear a uniform, but to heal, to pull people up from the depths of their pain and uncertainty." As she spoke, warmth spread through her, chasing away the chill of doubt. She could see heads nodding, even some smiles emerging. The weight on her shoulders lifted, replaced by a newfound lightness. Her family's faces were a collage of emotions. Her mother's eyes were glistening, a storm of love and fear battling for prominence. Her brother leaned in, eyes wide, perhaps for the first time understanding what Maya had been fighting for. Dreams are powerful, Maya continued, her voice rising above the murmurs. They can change our lives, reshape our futures. But it starts with believing in ourselves and in one another. The crowd hung on her every word. She shared the story of her father, how hard he fought before he fell ill, and how that pain ignited her passion to help others. Each story was a step deeper into her truth, unraveling the hope that burned fiercely within her. When her voice finally found its steady resolve, she looked up at the chandelier, a reminder of the world she'd always admired from a distance. I may be just a cleaner now, but every day I learn. I am more than my job. We are all more than our present circumstances. As she finished, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. The room broke into applause, echoing against the elegant walls. Yet, even amid the cheers, anxiety still gnawed at her insides as she spotted an old acquaintance from the neighborhood with a scowl etched on his face. Doubt flickered back to life, but just for a moment. Maya scanned the crowd again, this time fixing on her family. Their eyes met, and in that second, she saw acknowledgement and acceptance dawning. Maybe they would come to understand. As she stepped back, the applause still ringing in her ears, a figure approached her. It was Mr. Harris, his proud smile beaming as he nodded approvingly. You did it, Maya. You touched their hearts. But just as joy began to swell within her, her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a message from her mother, and it simply read, "We need to talk at home." An uneasy feeling gripped her heart. What awaited her was unknown and certainly heavy. Would she find the acceptance she sought, or more confrontation? As she stepped away from the stage, doubt again clung to her like a shadow, and her heart raced. What was the conversation going to reveal? Would her family embrace her new journey, or would it be another battle to fight? She had stood tall today, but the real challenge was just beginning. Maya walked off the stage, her heart still fluttering from the thrill of her speech. Despite the applause, the weight of her mother's text loomed in her mind, casting a dark shadow over the moment. Each step toward the exit felt heavier as the reality of going home met her. She scanned the room for her family, eager for their reactions, yet fearful of what awaited her. Her mother stood with her arms crossed tightly over her chest, her face a blend of pride and concern. Her brother, usually stoic, looked unsure, glancing between Maya and their mother. An uncomfortable knot formed in Maya's stomach. "I'll be right back," she said to Mr. Harris, forcing a smile, and headed toward her family. As she approached, her mother's expression softened, but the tension remained palpable. "Maya, we need to talk," her mother said firmly, but there was a tremor in her voice that hinted at underlying dread. "Yeah, I figured. Can we do it at home?" Maya responded, trying to keep her voice steady, masking the swell of anxiety within. Her mother nodded, biting her lip. "Let us go then." On the drive home, the silence was deafening. Maya focused on the road passing by, her thoughts spiraling like the double yellow lines in the asphalt. What could they possibly discuss? Would her mother question her dreams again? Would her brother side with her, or with their mother? The familiar outline of their home came into view, a modest house filled with both memories and burdens. They stepped inside, and her mother motioned for Maya to sit at the kitchen table. Maya's palms felt clammy as she took a seat, her brother following suit, his expression unreadable. "Maya, I'm proud of you," her mother began, her voice breaking slightly. "But this is a different path. What you're trying to do, it's not normal for us." Maya held her breath. "What do you mean?" "I'm doing this for us, for me. I want to help people." Her mother shook her head. "I worry about the way they might treat you. Nurses? They're not always treated well. You want to be a cleaner, but a nurse, it's a big leap. You know that, right?" Those words pierced through Maya like arrows. She thought of every moment she had spent studying, her late nights filled with textbooks, and the sacrifices she had made to get here. "I'm not afraid of hard work, Mom. Isn't that what you taught me?" Her mother sighed, so visibly torn. "It's not just hard work, honey. It's the world we live in. People won't always see you as a nurse. They'll just see. You know?" Maya's breath caught in her throat, and it felt like every fear she had ever faced was crashing down around her. "You mean because I'm black?" Because I'm not from a wealthy background? Yes. It's complicated. Her mother's frustration bubbled to the surface. I want to protect you. I want you to be happy. Sitting in the heavy silence that followed, Maya felt her brother shift uncomfortably in his seat. I get what Mom is saying, Maya. It's dangerous out there. Dangerous? Maya answered, her voice rising. Living in fear of what others think. When you feel called to do something great, that is not living. That is stagnation. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes. She clenched her fists on the table. If I don't fight for this, who will? The tension thickened in the room, each heartbeat filling the silence. She felt the need to break free from the darkness, the fight of her future hanging in the balance. Just then, her phone buzzed again, this time a news alert. Was it another headline about struggles? Or something that could change everything? Maya's heart raced as she reached for her phone. What if this news was the key to transforming the way her family saw her dream? What could it possibly reveal? Why did it feel like the stakes were about to rise even higher? Maya's fingers trembled as she opened the notification. Her heart sank while reading the headline. Black cleaners studying in secret revealed. Millionaire'S amazing discovery changes lives forever. The article flashed on the screen, filled with bright, hopeful images and bold proclamations. She skimmed through the text, her mind racing. It recounted the story of a young woman, like her, who lived a double life. By day, she was a cleaner. By night, she was a dedicated student pursuing her dream of becoming a nurse. The millionaire mentioned in the article had found her studying late at a local library and, seeing her potential, decided to sponsor her education. The words on the screen blurred as tears filled her eyes. The story resonated deeply. If this could happen for someone else, why not her? Maya? Her mother's voice broke through the noise of her thoughts, stirring her back to reality. What is it? This, Maya said, thrusting her phone onto the table. This woman, she has done what I want to do. She is a cleaner too, but look where she is now. Can't you see it? It's possible. Her mother leaned closer, reading the headline, then the first few sentences. But Maya, this is just one story, one lucky break, she sighed, her brow furrowing. Lucky? Maybe, Maya countered, desperation edging into her voice. But it's also about hard work. She didn't wait for someone else to validate her dreams. I can be like her. This could be my future. Her brother seemed to be absorbing the discussion. But what if it's just the media playing up her story? What if it doesn't reflect what we experience every day? Maya turned to him, feeling the fire within her rise. What if it is real? What if it means I can reshape how people see me? If she can get a chance, then maybe I can too. One person stepping out can change everything. That's a big if. Maya, her mother warned, her voice softer now, but still cautious. What you're talking about doesn't just happen. It takes a mountain of support, resources. Maya cut her off, her voice steady and fierce. I have those resources. I have my education, my heart, and now this story. This is proof that the world is wider than our small town. It's proof that I'm not just a cleaner. I'm a nurse in the making. Silence hung in the air, thick and charged. The tension in the room seemed to crackle with unsaid words and emotions. Maya, listen, her mother finally said, her voice low. You want to fight, and that's admirable. But don't ignore the reality that might come with that fight. The weight of her mother's warning settled heavily on Maya's shoulders. She suddenly felt very small and very unsure. Her dream was a beacon, but the obstacles were stark shadows behind it. Do you believe in me at all? Maya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Maya, it's not that it's just her mother started. But just then, more notifications pinged on Maya's phone, one after another. Her heart raced again, filled with trepidation. What now? Maya glanced at the screen, scanning the headlines once more. It's going viral. And look at this, there's a trending discussion about scholarships. For people like me. A surge of hope flooded through her. What if I could apply? If I could be that woman for someone else one day? Her brother leaned forward, wonder creeping into his eyes. You could. Change the narrative. You could be the story they talk about. Suddenly, the weight of dreams shifting from despair to possibility filled the room. Maya's mind swirled with plans, options, and newfound determination. But amongst the excitement lingered that flicker of doubt, a quiet reminder of the struggle she faced ahead. Would they support her if she took that leap? Maya's heart raced in anticipation. How would she navigate this new chapter? What steps would she take now? As the conversations buzzed around her, she felt the pressure of a decision looming ahead, ready to transform her future, if only they could all believe together. Maya's palms were clammy as she scrolled through the comments flooding in on social media. Each notification felt like a soft nudge, encouraging her to step closer to her dreams. People from all around were sharing their own stories, telling tales of resilience and ambition. It was like she had stumbled into a hidden community of warriors, all fighting for brighter futures against the odds. "Look at this one," she shared, her voice trembling with excitement as she pointed to a comment. This woman worked 3 jobs while raising her kids and went back to school. Now she is a doctor. Her brother squinted at the screen, his initial skepticism morphing into intrigue. "Wow, that is incredible." It's like she is the hero of her own film. Her mother, sitting back in her chair but obviously warming up to the idea, gave a small nod. "Maybe you're onto something here, Maya. But remember, it's still a long journey. You need a plan." A sense of urgency bubbled within her. "I need to apply for scholarships. The deadlines are tight, and if I'm going to do this, I have to start now." That is the spirit. Her brother cheered, a supportive grin spreading across his face. "Let us get to work." With newfound urgency, Maya opened a document on her laptop, heart racing at the thought of each word she would write. As she poured her heart onto the screen, she couldn't help but think of that young woman from the article. They shared more than just jobs. They shared dreams that seemed like distant stars, bright but unattainable. But stars could be reached if one dared to chase them. "What are you going to say?" her brother asked, peering over her shoulder. "I want them to know what drives me," Maya began, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "I'm not just a cleaner. I'm a caregiver at heart. I want to bring comfort to those in pain. I want to make a difference." She leaned back, staring at the words she had crafted. They felt like promises she was ready to make, not just to the scholarship committee, but to herself. With each sentence, she could feel the weight of her past and the lingering doubts begin to lift, replaced by a burgeoning hope. Her mother watched her, the corners of her mouth pulling into a subtle smile. "Maya, I see your passion. Just remember, stay grounded. Not all dreams come true with just hope." A pang of reality struck her hard. "I know it won't be easy, Mom. But if I don't try, then I've already lost," she replied, determination threading through her words. She could feel the support of her family gathering around her like a protective cloak. Yet, doubt still whispered in her ears, slithering in between her thoughts. What if she didn't get the scholarship? What would that mean for her dreams? But even in doubt, she found a flicker of resolve. "What if there are aspects of my story that make me stand out?" she said aloud, surprising herself with the strength of her thoughts. "My struggles have shaped me. They're part of who I am." Her brother nodded vigorously. "Exactly. You have a story to tell. Maybe it's time the world hears it." The urgency of the moment surged again. She had her plan outlined, but she knew it would take more than just words on a screen. It would require courage, a leap of faith into the unknown. Staring at her application draft, Maya took a deep breath. "This doesn't just change my life. It can inspire others, too, can it?" "Yes, it can," her mother affirmed, her voice filled with warmth. But deep down, a new question formed in Maya's mind. What did success look like beyond this application? What would come after the first leap? As they gathered around the kitchen table, the future laid bare before them. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. The excitement was palpable, yet uncertainty loomed. What awaited her on this path? Could one application truly change everything? Or was there more to the story than she realized? It was time to find out. Maya's fingers trembled as they hovered above the keyboard, the screen flickering with the half-finished application that held her future in its pixels. Her heart beat loudly in her chest, drowning out the noises of the world around her. She was on the edge of something monumental, but it wasn't just a scholarship application. It was her chance to rewrite her story. What if she whispered to herself, her eyes darting back at her family? What if I'm not good enough for this? Her mother's reassuring voice broke through her thoughts. "That's just fear talking, honey. You've got a fire inside you. Let it shine." Maya's resolve began to stoke the flame. She looked at the drafts strewn across the table, fragments of her life spilling onto the pages. Each word she had crafted was a reminder of her struggles, the long hours spent cleaning, the nights dedicated to studying while others slept. the dreams that often danced just out of reach. She recalled the sacrifices her family had made to help her get this far, the sacrifices she was determined to honor. "Okay, I can do this," she said with renewed conviction. "This is my moment." The laptop screen glowed brightly in the dim kitchen light, and she started typing again, pouring her heart out. She wrote about her work, detailing how each shift had shaped her understanding of humanity. She recounted the moments when she had comforted neighbors in need, turning awkward situations into spaces of connection. With every word, her voice grew stronger, more confident. Her brother nudged her shoulder, breaking her concentration. "You should share some of those success stories with your application, too. Like the time you helped Mrs. Jenkins with her groceries, or how you played bingo with the seniors at the community center." Maya's eyes sparkled at the memory. "You're right. I never thought about that. Those moments mean so much to me. They show who I truly am." Her mother leaned in closer, pride oozing from her smile. "Use them, Maya. Don't just showcase the struggle. Highlight the strength that comes from it. That's what makes your story unique." Encouraged, Maya focused on the tales of impact, how a simple act of kindness could shift someone's entire day. The sincerity in her words felt powerful, enough to shake off her worries. Suddenly, her phone buzzed, pulling her out of her flow. She glanced down to find a message from a friend. "Hey, did you see the post about the scholarship open house on Saturday? They're having networking sessions." Her heart flipped. "Networking? I didn't even think about that," she muttered, glancing up at her family. "What if I found someone who could really help me? I need all the support I can get." Suddenly, the prospect of making connections thrilled her more than the application itself. She envisioned meeting people who had traveled similar paths, those who had survived against the odds, and perhaps even mentors who would guide her through the labyrinth ahead. "Mom, can we go?" she asked, excitement bubbling up again. Her mother's smile broadened. "Of course. This could be a fantastic opportunity. Just think, you can make connections, ask questions, and get insights that will help you." Maya felt the energy in the room shift, morphing from a tense focus on the application into a buzzing anticipation for Saturday. But as she resumed typing, one thought echoed strongly in her mind. What if this was just the beginning? What if this journey held more than just educational aspirations? What if she was meant to change not only her life, but the lives around her too? Inspired and eager, she entwined those questions into her application and hit save. Her journey hadn't even truly begun, but already, it felt bigger than she could have imagined. What would it take from her to truly succeed? As the sun dipped low, casting a warm glow across the kitchen, she closed her laptop. The bold adventure awaited, but she sensed shadows lurking on the edges that she yet had to confront. What trials would she face next, and would she emerge stronger on the other side? Only time would tell. Maya awoke the next morning to sunlight streaming through her bedroom window, casting playful shapes across the floor. The promise of Saturday's open house churned in her stomach like butterflies eager to take flight. She hopped out of bed, heart racing as the excitement of new possibilities buoyed her spirit. After breakfast, she retrieved her laptop, determined to put the finishing touches on her scholarship application. Each click of the keys felt like a small victory, a testament to her dreams merging with reality. Just as she was about to finalize everything, her mother entered the room, her expression earnest. "Maya, can we talk for a minute?" Her heart sank slightly, thinking of all the ways this could mean trouble or concern. "Sure, Mom. What's up?" Her mom took a seat beside her, folding her hands. "I know how much this scholarship means to you, and I want you to know, whatever happens, we're proud of you." Maya's shoulders relaxed. "Thanks, Mom. It really means a lot. I really want this." Her mother smiled, but there was a glint of worry in her eyes. "I need to ask you something important." She hesitated, then continued. "Have you thought about what you'll do if you don't get the scholarship?" Maya's heart dropped. The question settled heavy in the room. I think about it, but I don't want to. I want to focus on what I can achieve, not what I might lose." "I understand, sweetie. But it's always good to have a plan," her mother urged gently. "What is your backup?" I guess I could find another part-time job, save up, and try again next year." The idea felt deflating, but she tried to infuse a sense of optimism. "I could also look into local schools. Maybe there are other opportunities. I really don't want to think about that right now." "That's the spirit," her mother said with a smile, though Maya could sense her underlying concern. "Just remember, No matter what, you have support. You're not alone in this. Maya nodded and hoped every ounce of her effort would show through. With renewed determination, she returned to her laptop. The application was almost complete. All she needed was a final look. As the days crept closer to Saturday, she found herself increasingly distracted. Each new thought of the open house brought a mixture of excitement and anxiety. Would she really be able to connect with the right people? Would anyone see the potential she felt within her? Then, Friday night arrived. The family gathered around the dinner table, a sense of nervousness lingering in the air as they shared stories about their days. Maya's brother, eager as always, filled the room with laughter, attempting to lighten the mood. "You know, you're going to knock it out of the park tomorrow, sis. Just remember to smile," he said, grinning widely before taking a bite of his food. "Yeah, you've got this." Her mother chimed in, serving up seconds, the pride palpable in her voice. Maya fought to keep the apprehension from spilling out. "What if I freeze up? What if they don't like me?" "Just be yourself," her mother encouraged. "That's all anyone could ever ask for. You've worked hard for this. Just breathe." As they finished eating, Maya excused herself, retreating to her room. With the rising moon casting a silver glow, she laid on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Thoughts spiraled around her. What if she faltered? What if she didn't fit in the world she aspired to join? But deep down, another whisper ignited in her. What if she found strength and courage she didn't yet know existed? In that moment, she resolved to be brave. Tomorrow wasn't just a networking opportunity, it was a chance to own her story, perhaps even change her life. She fell asleep with her dreams swirling, each one a step closer to truth. The next day, she would step into the unknown, ready or not. What awaited her? And would that strength carry her through the labyrinth of unfamiliar faces? The journey ahead would demand everything she had. Maya awoke the following morning to the gentle buzz of her alarm clock. The familiar sunlight streamed in through her window, this time bathing her in warmth and promise. Today wasn't just a Saturday, it was a fork in the road. She jumped out of bed, her heart pounding as nerves washed over her. Would today bring hope or disappointment? She took a deep breath, trying to quell the anxiety bubbling within. After a quick shower and breakfast, she put on her favorite blouse, one she had saved for special occasions. It made her feel powerful, like she could take on the world. As she looked in the mirror, she whispered to herself, "You got this, Maya." The words tasted sweet, but felt shaky. She grabbed her backpack, the weight of her notebook and pen weighing heavily on her shoulders. Each item felt like a reminder of what was at stake. The drive to the university was a blur of thoughts. Should she practice her pitch? What if she stuttered or forgot her points? She could hear her mother's encouraging voice in her head, but the worry still gnawed at her. Upon arriving, Maya was greeted by a crowd of students, all chatting and laughing. The open house was alive with energy, and she felt small standing at the edge of the chatter. The campus stretched before her like a sprawling unknown, filled with people who seemed so confident and at ease. "Just be yourself," she repeated under her breath, taking small steps into the thrumming heart of the day. She clutched her backpack tighter, now filled with flyers and contact information she hoped to collect. As she meandered through the booths, she met various representatives. Each connection felt like a fragile thread she desperately wanted to weave into her story. A friendly woman at a table full of pamphlets smiled warmly at her when Maya introduced herself. "Maya, huh? That's a beautiful name. What are you interested in studying?" The woman asked, her kind eyes encouraging Maya to open up. "I'm hoping to study business, maybe focus on entrepreneurship," Maya replied, feeling her voice strengthen as she spoke about her passion. "Fantastic. We love hearing about future innovators," the woman said, handing Maya a brochure. "If you're looking for opportunities, come to our workshop next week." The engagement lit a spark in Maya. Maybe this wasn't so daunting after all. She moved to the next table, excited to continue the conversation, but a shadow of doubt crept back as other students surrounded her, exchanging ideas effortlessly. Maya's heart raced again. What if she couldn't keep up? Doubts twisted in her stomach like a whirlwind. She stepped aside, taking a deep breath and trying to regain her composure. Just then, her phone buzzed in her pocket, pulling her back to reality. It was a message from her mother. "Remember, sweetheart, we believe in you. Just be brave." Maya smiled at her phone, her heart warming at the words. Inspired, she moved back into the fray, introducing herself to a group discussing scholarship opportunities. As they talked, she felt herself relax, words flowing and laughter bubbling. "Why are you so interested in such a competitive field?" one student asked curiously. Maya paused. It was a big question. The group awaited her answer, and she felt the weight of their curious eyes. "I want to make a difference for others, especially those who might not see the potential in themselves," she said, the words flowing out. "There's so much talent out there, and I just want to help bring it to life." The silence that followed was charged with emotion. She saw nods of agreement, smiles exchanged, and an unexpected sense of camaraderie forming. Just then, a distinguished-looking man joined their small circle, raising an eyebrow at the energy in the air. He introduced himself as the head of the entrepreneurship department, and the group fell silent, each member quietly hoping to impress him. For Maya, the moment was surreal. Could this be her chance to shine? But would she be brave enough to seize it? With every heartbeat echoing in her ears, she felt the decisive moment hovering just out of reach. Would she take a step forward, or would fear hold her back? Maya stood at the edge of that circle, her heart thumping wildly as the man's presence felt like a spotlight on her. She caught her breath, a wave of impatience tinged with fear washing over her. She wanted to say something that mattered, to share her vision, but the words lodged in her throat like a stubborn pebble. The man surveyed the group, nodding slightly. "So what's the big picture? What's your vision for the future?" His voice was deep, commanding, pulling the attention of everyone in the vicinity. Maya felt increasingly aware of her trembling hands, but she knew she had to speak. "I want to create opportunities for those who struggle to see their own potential," she blurted out, surprising even herself with the conviction in her voice. The group perked up, curiosity piqued again as they leaned in closer. "There are so many brilliant people out there who just need a little encouragement and resources to thrive." "Interesting and challenging," he replied, studying her intently. She could feel his eyes analyzing every bit of her, the dreams sketched behind them. "What do you think your biggest challenge will be?" Maya hesitated. Challenges were everywhere, but one stood out most. Honestly, getting people to trust that their dreams are valid, that someone believes in them. The honesty of her words hung in the air, heavy with emotion. Her surprise. The man smiled warmly, the tension around them easing. "That's a solid goal," he said, and she felt the tension of the moment shift. "Start working on that pitch. It's potential gold. You're in the right place." With those words hanging in the air, the group erupted into conversation again, bubbling with enthusiasm over their aspirations. Maya couldn't help but let a beam of hope spread through her. She had just confronted her fear, and she had stood her ground. The event wore on, each interaction leaving her more empowered. She exchanged contacts with interested students and representatives, the crowds around her now igniting instead of intimidating. The shadow of doubt no longer loomed as large, and as she walked away from the booths, she felt an electric buzz of possibility pulsating in her veins. Yet, beneath the excitement, a sliver of reality gnawed at her. How could she make sure her dreams didn't fade into just another idea? Her heart sank briefly, but then her phone buzzed in her pocket again. Unfurling it in front of her, she saw another message from her mother. "Remember, Maya, our faith in you is like a powerful current. Keep chasing your dreams no matter what." She chuckled softly, feeling warmth curling in her chest. It felt like a gentle push forward, nudging her back to the thrumming energy of the campus. As the day wound down, Maya found herself in a quiet corner of the university, reflecting. A small group of students were starting a discussion on their experiences, and she decided to join. Listening to their challenges and aspirations made her realize something powerful. They were all navigating the same storm: doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But together, as a support system, they could build something greater. Inspired, she gathered her voice. "What if we worked together on building a platform for us? A safe space to share our ideas, to uplift each other?" There it was, the power of connection. Excited murmurs flitted around the circle, hearts revived as they explored the potential of collaboration. Maya's mind raced with ideas. But just as she felt the spark ignite within her, the head of the entrepreneurship department approached them again, and his expression was serious. "I just overheard your conversation. I might have a proposal that could change everything. Could this moment turn into the opportunity she had been yearning for, or would it lead her down a different path entirely? The weight of her choice began to pull at her. Each beat of her heart echoed the questions that danced in the air. What was about to unfold? How much was she willing to risk? The atmosphere shifted in that quiet corner of the university, the collective breaths of Maya and her new peers hanging heavily in anticipation. The department head's presence felt like thunder before a storm, a powerful energy stirring their dreams awake. What proposal do you have? Maya spoke up, her voice steady despite the flutter of her stomach. She was no longer just a spectator. She was in the thick of it, and nothing could hold her back now. The man looked at them, his gaze sweeping over their expectant faces. I believe in harnessing potential. You all have the fire in you, and you can create a community focus, a startup incubation for students like yourselves. His words resonated like a call to arms. An incubation? Someone echoed from the group, a curious glint in their eyes. Yes, a supportive environment where students collaborate, create plans, and get feedback while working on their ideas. I want to guide you through the process, help shape your ventures into reality. Are you interested? Maya inhaled sharply, a cascade of emotions washing over her. This was what she dreamed of, a chance to reshape not only her path, but the paths of others striving for those same dreams. Absolutely. How can we start? She blurted, her heart pounding with excitement. He explained the next steps, each point igniting her sense of purpose even further. A shared vision began to form, blending ideas and aspirations. As they built up enthusiasm, the man nodded, impressed. Gather your team. I want to see your progress by next month. Together, we can pave a new way forward. Walking away from that meeting, Maya felt elated, empowered for the first time. Her brother and mother had always told her she was destined for something amazing, but this was more than just a dream. This was action. Did that just happen? Her brother asked later, nearly bouncing on his heels. It did, she replied, beaming. We're going to change things for ourselves and others, too. Together, they huddled at the kitchen table, brainstorming plans, channeling their creativity into actionable steps. Each idea felt like seeds waiting for sunlight to blossom, but beneath her excitement lingered the shadow of uncertainty. Was she truly ready for this? Was the weight of their community on her shoulders too heavy to bear? The parallel paths of doubt and determination danced within her, but she pushed through, refusing to succumb to fear. In the weeks that followed, the journey was exhilarating yet challenging. They held meetings, shared resources, and lifted each other's spirits. Maya transformed from a hopeful dreamer into a focused leader, confidence spilling over from her interactions with peers, mentors, and even from those who, at first, doubted her. One evening, deep in the heart of their new community, they gathered for their first workshop. As Maya stood in front of the room, filled with eager faces, she felt the warmth of connection envelop her. Welcome, everyone. We're here to create our future, and it starts today. Remember, whatever you create here can change lives. Let us uplift each other. As she spoke, she caught sight of her family in the back, her brother's proud smile illuminating the room. Her mother's eyes glistened with tears of pride, of hope, of disbelief that her daughter had come this far. With each passing day, Maya thrived. The realization that she wasn't just forging her path, but shaping a community, forged deeper connections. Then came the day of the scholarship announcement. More than a formality, it felt like a culmination of all they had fought for. Surrounded by the energy of support, Maya held hands with her peers, their hearts beating as one. As the results were called, she felt light, soaring above the moments of doubt she had clenched onto for too long. We believe in you, came the gentle whisper from her mother's voice. When her name echoed through the hall, the room erupted into applause. Relief and joy blended in a stream of tears that slipped down her cheeks. She had done it. The accolades were more than personal triumph. They represented every person she fought for. Days later, standing before the chandelier in that mansion once more, she felt that world of wealth reflected in a different light. It wasn't about money or status, but about building bridges of change, possibilities stretching well beyond sweeping floors and cleaning houses. Each sparkle above reminded her that she wasn't a cleaner, she was a life changer. Maya, Mr. Harris' voice carried through the air, pulling her from her reverie. You truly are inspiring. Are you ready for this next chapter? His smile was the same one that encouraged her from the start, a beacon of mentorship she would always cherish. Yes, I'm ready, she replied, feeling the weight of responsibility shift to something lighter. Her family was with her, each moment of support pulling her closer to their shared dreams. As applause cascaded like rain around her, Maya embraced who she had become, a symbol of strength, transformation, and hope. They would move forward as allies together, navigating the beautiful chaos of life, weaving dreams into reality and chasing those stars fiercely. Maya had discovered her voice, her place in this world, and she knew deep down that this was only the beginning for her and for all those she would inspire. And now, dear reader, this is the moment for you. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that will ignite your spirits. Leave a like now if you're feeling inspired to support this journey. Comment below your reactions and feelings about Maya's incredible transformation. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this story unfold. You need to subscribe now. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Remember, every action you take helps fuel the light of hope and change in our communities.